Alright, I had to make this video once before already, but I accidentally paused it while I was having my ear too close to it, so I do apologize. This is the recording with going to see Russell, and what he has to say about the situation is a lot different. I do let them know that I'm recording as soon as I go into the building, and as soon as Russell shows up, I let him know that I'm recording. And also the things that he has to say do not coincide with what Melissa has to say at all. He was trying to help me to turn in this abuse, and Melissa kept cutting him off, which I spoke about. He saw what he saw. He was able to state very clearly last time that he did believe that my life was in danger. And that's when they took him off. When he was taking the abuse seriously, because he'd gotten to see it. And we're going to get to hear that in here too. So let's press play. We're going to have to try to download it to my computer here. That'll take a while. And then, obviously, you know, this is going to be longer than I'm able to record. The videos stop right around 30-something minutes, a little over 30 minutes, because I run out of memory space on my phone. And then I have to download it to YouTube so that I can destroy the video on my phone, but still have a record of it, at least on YouTube. That way there's room on my phone to make the next recording, which could be me doing this, or it could be me going to the grocery store, or, sorry, the center market, and having to deal with John Photius again, or Andrew Wolnez again, or John Stevens again, or Christopher Stafford again. I just pressed play, by the way. It's real chaotic at the very beginning. There's the part where I'm trying to explain how inappropriate it was that Melissa called me. That Sean did not call me back yesterday like he said he was going to. I can't actually hear any of it because of this going on, so I'm just having to trust that it might be close enough to record. Chris Truby, another mandatory reporter. Ashtray. Fuck it. This Russell's on this. When he shows up, he does. He verifies a lot of stuff. He also verifies he knows I'm recording. And verifies that he knows I post this shit on YouTube. I can't even hear it. Not this video. Notice all the talking I'm doing. It's called info dumping. Autistic people do it because when we try to speak up, we're talked over and dismissed, and all of the stuff we're going through builds up. More details, more evidence, more important shit that needs to be heard. It's not like this is one incident where I was assaulted by cops one time because they made a mistake. No, this is a situation where they committed felonies in Colorado to hide their mistakes, the same as Melissa tries to do here. They just change the words. Their job is to turn in abuse. Now, why do mandated reporters keep pawning me off on people who are not mandated reporters? And all these places I go, when I tell them about the abuse, I'm told about how there's peer support workers to help with this. And then any peer support worker who tries to help with this is fucking fired. During this, I do speak to Russell about Shay Darnell, who is a part of this situation, both PFCC and CARE. She no longer works there as of today. Imagine that. We're over 10 minutes into it now. This would make more sense if I posted it all in order, and I'm sorry I haven't, but I'm trying to basically connect the dots for you so any idiot can follow along. Also, again, I want to remind you that I did inform them that I am recording. They are aware. And we're 13 minutes in, no Russell yet, I guess. We should get more clear when Russell shows up, because we got our own room. There's Russell right there. He said, I already know that. He said he watched it. Oh, it's not a delusion. And we're going to talk about this. We're going to have a pretty decent discussion about this. And you're going to get to... Well, if you can read the tone of somebody's voice, you'll learn a lot more from it. If you can't... Well, you'll still learn a lot from it because we talk about a lot of factual evidence. Like this part right here. Obviously, he did see it. He admits to seeing it.
Deal with still is that a lot of the people who are involved, and mind you, I'm not accusing you of being involved in any of the crap that you were, but Miss Shelley was. A lot of the people who worked here at the time were, and some of them do still work here. As far as the allegations against Miss Shelley and Melissa go, like, they're... When you tell people, especially tell mandatory reporters, that they're not allowed to turn in abuse against us, that is against the law. I don't mind sitting down and even paying to have photocopies made at the library to come in here and show you guys the mandatory report rules. The abuse that I continue going through is because instead of the mandated reporters that I was sent to helping the community right away like I was told they were going to, I was sent around in housing circles, and I keep getting this housing stuff, the stuff that you and I were working on. As soon as you stopped, it all stopped. As far as Melissa trying to do the blame game.
Yeah, as soon as he was supposed to help do a lot of the maintenance stuff with the housing thing, he was going to try to help me to turn this stuff in as a peer support worker, which I'm constantly pawned off on these peer support workers that are supposed to be able to help somebody like me through this. And then these peer support workers are told they're not allowed. Not okay.
You shouldn't have been there craft baiting the people when they're upset. It's not appropriate. That is what I expect when I try to turn in people who have committed crimes against me. I shouldn't have to turn them into themselves. I shouldn't have to talk to those people at all after making those allegations, especially with the proof that I have. So one of the things is I'd like to come in when you have the availability. I'd like to be able to come in with as much evidence as I can carry.
So yeah, he verifies that it is true. He is aware. We're also going to talk about my safety and the danger that I'm in. Has he seen enough to tell these people I am in danger? Not he believes he's in danger, but he is in danger. And he's going to verify, yes, some of the evidence that I play for him, he says to me, I've already seen it. Yeah, because he had seen it. And I told Miss Shelley that he'd seen it. And that I needed her to look at that stuff so that she was aware. It's difficult to make the right decisions when you don't have the right information. Yeah. Now that I no longer have a vehicle because of the vandalization, and also, of course, Dave Martinez did everything that he could to rob me of evidence, to rob me of the ability to turn in my predators, basically to strand me high and dry with nothing. I also want to pause this to state that he says that he's not a mandatory reporter. Well, a mandatory reporter does need to be involved. If we've got people who are not mandatory reporters telling mandatory reporters what they are and are not allowed to turn in, that cannot be happening. Also, if you're not a mandatory reporter, you need to tell us. If you are a mandatory reporter, you need to tell us. This is important information. Now we've got several people, like Shelley, for example, where we've got recordings where she says that she is a mandatory reporter, and we've got recordings where she says that she is not. The deal for that paperwork at TFCC, that was the day that she became my peer support worker. And she was going to take the time to go over it so she knew what was going on and could better make decisions while working with me. She never went over it, though, so it was useless. To this day, she hasn't gone over it. Also, in this, Russell says that he doesn't know about the file, whether or not, he says he doesn't know any of that, and that's fine. It's Sean who is supposed to deal with that. Sean who is supposed to take care of that. Sean who did not take it seriously, and now we're having to wait until Monday. Monday at noon. That means that between now and Monday at noon, I don't have any way to turn anything in. I've got nobody that I can turn anything into. I basically just have to hang out. God damn it. I basically got to hang out in here until Monday. as soon as Russell stopped being my peer support worker, all support stopped, and it became Shelly making money for doing nothing. We made absolutely no progress. She heard what she wanted to hear, just like Melissa heard what she wanted to hear.
He was gonna make sure that I get a copy of my paperwork. Whereas Melissa told me that the only people she's allowed to give that to is the police. So I'm not sure how that works. So I'm still new at all this. Because I'm not even a peer no more. I'm the shelter manager now. So I'm going to set aside an hour, 45 minutes with you on Monday. That way I can have a chance to talk to Sean for you, alright? And see what I can do to set up a sit down maybe with him, and you and him to sit down and talk. And me and you to make a phone call after I check out the more stuff that you want me to see, alright? Yes, sir. Well, one of the things is that with my life being in danger, it's been in danger this whole time. And with having to wait until Monday, that really puts me at even greater risk. Well, I can't talk to him to see what he wants to do and how he wants to do until he's here. And,
Which he should have done yesterday.
when I've tried to turn this stuff in before, I've had many people claim that they turned this stuff in, but I've never provided any proof. And I've got evidence that I've gone to every manner of mandatory reporter. They all need to be turned in because the stuff that you've seen to be true is the stuff they keep trying to pretend I'm delusional over. They keep railroading me in court over this and denying me my rights. I was in there for 15 months on what was misdemeanor on my maximum.
Now, one of the questions to be asked in this is, how much did Melissa know about this before she called me? How much was she aware of with the Russell situation before she called me? Yeah, why did Sean not do what he's supposed to do what's appropriate in this situation? Making me go through my predators, people like Melissa, is not only is it not okay, morally, it's illegal. It is illegal. So Sean did something illegal. Is he going to admit to his mistake, or is he going to try to cover it up? We'll see. Maybe he's this so-called man of integrity that Marie Miller said that he was, but I have not seen it yet. I am glad that I got to speak to Russell, but Melissa should not have been involved.
I've also got a early property today. So this right here, it's got threats against my life. It shows that I sent them to the investigators. And they claim in court that I threatened to kill them, but I can show you the evidence that I didn't threaten to kill them. I was sending them evidence of threat against me as I was instructed to do. Yeah.
Oh, and I show him that stuff too, by the way. Within the next minute or so, this is going to run out of space on my telephone and stop recording on its own.
Girls tell me that they wanted help turning in with their rapists here in town, and I was always totally down with that to fill in. The problem is they were too afraid to go in, and I ain't going to. You, as the victim, have to go in with me. I go in with you to make sure that you're safe when you do so, so that if they try to talk over you, you're allowed to speak. So this right here.
And you notice Russell says, that's what I'm trying to do with you. So that's what he was trying to do when they transferred him. Didn't tell me anything about it, and didn't assign me a new peer support worker for like 3 weeks. And then the new peer support worker was none other than Shelly, who I've already had an issue with in the past. And her boss is Melissa. Now, of course, how much are we going to get done in 45 minutes? He says that's for a meeting. So Obviously, that's not even for making the calls or looking at the evidence. That's just for a meeting. And it's, what, half an hour, 45 minutes is what he's able, capable, or willing to spend. Well, hopefully Sean understands the gravity of the situation after speaking with Russell. He said he was gonna. You'd think he already did.
A threat against my life. Obviously, it's a threat against my life. He says he's going to kill and rape my sister's kids and stuff like that.
You guys got to see that.
Stuff that I said to the investigators. There's a whole bunch of it. Now I was told to send screenshots of this stuff. People are saying stuff, and I've got it recorded. I just sent the recordings. This is the guy that I was sent to jail over, by the way. This is one of the many times that he threatened me, and I believe you can hear him despite the fact that he's a felon. They showed this one to me, cocking his clock.
He said, showed this one to me. So he's seen that stuff. The stuff that Shelley refuses to look at, Melissa refuses to look at. They're aware that it exists. They're aware that it's true. When we speak about the picture, I mean, it's obvious that what I have been speaking about is true. He talks about how that picture was a picture of me and some stuff about the Natalie Bollinger case. So everybody in the office was aware of the Natalie Bollinger thing being true as well, and yet continued with the delusion thing. Not fucking okay. And we talk about that in this. I don't know how far in.
Obviously, it's scary, and that click is pretty scary too. But the thing is, that, yeah, it's video.
What am I showing him there?